WASSCE results about NPP for pushing the blame on the president. And then because that is something we need to address. Educational systems in our society, no, they are a section where you and me and you be and cry and sati or Ghana and they say West African examination results now on Kalana Kochro. Our Ghanaians went to for that particular exams. Results in a buy. I say, in him. Kuransense was a particular resource as enkoye. Now all of a sudden ne who yana say NPP for air shift blame to President John Dramani Mahama say or no and I must man nkosi. But you watch this particular video we are download this mbeba.
For it is possible West African Examination Council WAEC release year 2025 WASSCE results. In fact, aya nisuo aya rewo udru fie bia ma kwalatro WASSCE na aya rewo hwe percentage enkwala efeli ye na. In fact se wo hwe data eba bontina enkwala tro WASSCE nyina no emu 51% omuntimi enko university because oma faili nti is 49% pe na etimi a pass A1 to C6 oma betimi akwa university na no kura no courses program na oba ne peso ye no eno so kura ho be ye den ama no na me medical ka kire mo say de BC ni ye WASSCE na be ye west eno na wu enche bia na finance minister Dr. Keso Atoban Forsen e be ka kire say I time NPP fra bem na free SHS na e basa na nkwala na yese na what pepepe na resource ba ya enkwala entwa samusa be kai bia 2026 budget ye ready ye bisa won say sika sen ana aban ne se wodi ba be no stress free se nkwala be ko school first year na metwe mu fees ama omo no wo de what see e kan wansem aban ne kasa no want wansem o because aban ne hu se nipa ne doso wo school mu wa onye sika wodi betua eye nkwala ne school fees ni to ma me no be ka se aban ye disappointed because 2024 campaign no or promise so betua oba ne first year fees ama no enti ene ye mani pa bebre enko school no na eka kese abada aban so medical ka kire se NDC aban ya aban bia omo mani nji school kom omo ni nji education enti omo ye ne bia be ma education na ye tantanta o ma me fo na ni so no aka se me ba no kura me mani nko school bi onko pe kokko bi no onko pe adwumasua bi nsua na wo ma say school no wo ma say education system no say wo be data e ba bontia de ti akoma social studies eno de obia wo bon kura na nya social studies ye bi say e de na cause unemployment ubenya biaka e de na ama teenage pregnancy cause ni nyina societal issues ni be sisi communities mu and social studies and social data e ba ya from 2021 e be 2025 the worst resource ayehu ene afi na wo ye akwala na wo tro WASSCE na wa failure wo ye maame a de biam ka tro say president ma wanya na dwen say obeboa wo ba na obibim enti mo fantu mo fo say aban we ba in the first year and no more resource na e basa because
anyway wo de yem fansi wa ha wa hu abaya ketwa kama odi alaji Dr. Munufie echi enti she believes say so be cultural exams no failure the president of the country and am independent failing because say president ashebo say o tertiary first year school fees no untia how NPP for I say they have no message and no more pumping these ideas into young girls like this to go on to the social media and then try to deceive the masses. Abaya we are being say unko university there unko school. Well, how she understands education, but my money bako. She also understands the same concept. Senior NPP 40 I say or my no. Say university is the only place you need to go to school. Let me tell you something. When I was at Sunyani Polytechnic, now Sunyani Technical University, by that time we call it Sunyani Polytechnic, when former President John Kufuor was the president, and then Japan and there also NPP flag bearer idea, he was the presidential secretary to the president. And then HND students throughout the polytechnics in Ghana then echo demonstration to the presidency to present a petition to the president to say, President John Kufuor at that time. Say they believe, say, HND, you're man the same status to say university degree. So they should lift the HND to degree status. Then that petition, Kwabena Japan and no president and receive it on behalf of the president. At that same time, no, Kwabena Japan catch them. Kwabena Japan catch the HND for say, so far as Kwabena Japan knows, every best student goes to the university. And he doesn't even understand why award polytechnic you think that they should award you a degree program. Kwabena Japan has somehow catch the polytechnic students, then HND students. I remember very, very well. Kwabena Japan can't ask me, and also students in AAD, and all fresh soldier for me about boom. My bimo top munina. I remember when Kwabena Japan was the presidential secretary to the then president J. Kufuor. And John's NPP for being exactly the same thing. And I buy a way, let me educate her. We don't insult on this particular platform. So let me give you a bit of education. You can't say we be school and your university in Kwani school. And your university in Kwan. Ghana buying at the Asudi to schools so and then headmasters and teachers to say Suku bia and kwalam passe kesibiano. It is the head teachers and then the teachers or the headmistresses. You are supposed to be blamed. Enti adia na Ghana buying a pushy teachers and the teachers, resorted to writing some of the exams for the students. But these are known facts. I just why I just say Ghana no. And most of our students, it's me passing WASSCE results. I can't go to no be say then a mass about me A+ or say me ko minimum. Minimum ko enforce me nya. And the teachers in the schools were organizing students to pass that particular exam. Say be ya nkwala no ne ompese omonko na yimbeble mu school mpanyifo no. Enti ma nkwala no so ye omode. Ema apogye ebe ye Ghana for de. Enti ne pia Ghana for no sa adom ko universities. I remember say most of the lecturers at various universities started even complaining say nkwala na ebe university no akwala ne kita good grades but obi say ne bibia onim. I am telling you, wow, hear me, and then I will hear him later say, this is the true reflection of Onkwalano Adisunya in our senior secondary schools. The educational reforms and another don't go for the buy. What I understand is say, you pushy SHS Adisunya the brain Kwalano JHS. So imagine a Kwalano JHS, no Sunya SHS are there. I have experienced in this kind of things. A Kwalano P1 or Ghana. Odi ni be do brochi da ade a onim no akwala wo P6 e wa brochi ko anim sa ade no if I wa hear me in the comment section wait me do adwen chira ba if you think I'm telling you the lies akwala wo P3 e wa Ghana ade a onim e wa class 3 ho no odi ni ba brochi da ade a sa akwala ni mo class 3 no JHS ni a akwala wo brochi ko anim sa ade no meaning say akwala na adwen ni so and then we are forcing sa akwala no to learn something at a higher level of that kind of akwala no. At the end of the day, na president akota apo say enkyere nkwala na apo na nkwala no kwetwe exams and pass it. So this is the true reflection of the performance of nkwala no. That is what I understand. This will be on pen okuriti and asemu American obeka se meboa. Surprisingly poor West African examination results, NAGRAT president calls for review of educational system. He understands Asma Mekano. Why Jimmy Media not to can the same thing, singing the same song. Said that be educational system in the country. We need to review it. And then this is the true reflection of Adia and Kwalan Enim. Previously, in another day, we covered normal system, normal same Kwalana Keke. Thinking say Kwalabianko University. Now university is the only place Ebema who's a school. That be Oba Bruchira. A technical education any CSE minor, not university courses. Because we are school business administration. If I open traffic light, I want to be amount. Who see there, I want to be boss amount. Who hear painter, I want to be amount. Or cast, I want to be fix amount. These are things, the growth, if you want your economy to grow, this is the best platform to grow. Until I am assuming, say, hey, this is the best system, when you are testing the level of education in the system. So we need to review our educational system. I just be our own penocracy and our own penocraca, and that's why I'm not making sense. That is the honest truth. Because CPC education, a movie very well in our country, we need to do an overhaul in our educational system. And this is a coach apo, and the bachelor Kolano, there be. And this is a koto pasco, and the bachelor Kolano say, learn only this kind of things, cultural exams, no pass here, university, and that's it. And then your graduate unemployment association in the country, yet if this kind of people come together, and that's a critique pure water, that's what one casa more toma there, the members alone could make them employment. How many of us think like this? How many people in the country have started to think, say that we need to change how we learn and how we go to school in our various organizations or various departments and other things? Ask yourself. Go to the big factories and companies in the country. Say, now could be almost say, a dear na muhiye free university waba. And then go to the universities and ask them, say, what kind of graduates are you producing? Ghana universities produce graduates are employment in the system don't even need them. Has a more. And easy. Rico said, Bro William, your broadcast to Ghanaians internally and abroad is so good and enjoyable. As to the facts and truth, you always spew out. Bro, you are the best for Ghana first. But that's me now. Why are there? A teacher, we have there. Because we cannot sit in the system. We cannot sit in a society here. Everybody is going to university. Then there's no job. But vocational and technical education, yet to change. Thinking says, vocational and technical education, that is what Kwabena Japan told HND students then. And that is the same message that NPP for repeating in there. Pacho school, you can't say we are school. And yet, I won't go school. There be education. Ask yourself, so what does education actually mean? When somebody is an educated person, bisa ho abrochi na ba so abrochi refi wadwuma wa abrochi dem adwuma ben na wa abrochi a ye de tie bo na ye adwuma do say na wa abrochi a omo ma bo tie PhD for na ye. Ask yourself, I know a lot of PhD holders are omo cha aduane, they deliver food. Maybe some of them are even watching me or maybe my temper. That is what I'm telling them. Meaning a lot of PhD holders are deliver food because PhD now a practically nonsense in the system where you live. I can't question Emily, I say most of them go to the university. And when they come to abroad, it is not needed here. Of course, because and I make a meaning PhD for or deliver Diane. I just say one pedocrity and I some make a say but that is the truth. Ghana, we should shift the system. We should shift it. Let me tell you, platform here, Metusa Media live streaming. There is nothing here. PhD in a year. Idea be a practical thing. It will be here. Ask me and be honest with yourself. Phone a kid or him, when is he PhD in the year? I have been to when Nokia was very vibrant in Finland. I've been to Nokia manufacturing company a lot. I had a lot of friends who were working for Nokia. Nokia, you man Nokia na your phone, smartphone. Obi no no get a PhD in the Obi any ho. You need to go to the technical and vocational schools and learn. Ghana, they just walk to university, and I go university, and I buy them to be able to university. No, be a university. I'm Mr. Oh, see now when they see amount. Have you asked this kind of question? I was NPP for they are not learning, they don't even think. And I'm a coffee buyer, we be doing a shit thing says is going okay. Spectacular shall buy we could any PhD in a university in a girl we all do Dr. Munufie, I choose to say low IQ syndrome, the organ and arena. Kasa so we are for NDC from pay school sem for NPP leadership na wo currently na for mugina ho na for NDC leadership gina ho na bi so say he for na ko school kese NPP leadership of more Ghana ne bring all of them and then tell me say NPP for akko school more NDC for wow. But these kind of people, all kind of question, they think that you are insulting them. Abaya kama. When Dr. Munufie dia, ese o ma doctor na chire onyansa na because Dr. Pani on so na bi say on kanyansa se bi an chire omo e na omudi na chi yo they are not learning almost anything there. Yeah, of course, because she's following them just because she can speak. That is the only thing. And now audio machi keke and audio machi there's nothing that she's learning from them. Mesre you can school education may say also work with school. I keep on telling a lot of my friends say me can't go university maybe a master's degree baby me find way. But let me tell them oko school ni we are because I want say school na makona dey na me dey here. And now they say degree in accountancy, masters in human resource management. At the end of the day, how why go be a company administer that human resource or human personnel? So you need to create something for yourself. If you fail to create something for yourself, you come back and then blame your government. And you're buying quite a much more. You're buying a many people. A buyer is there to create the enabling environment for you to create something for yourself to do. It was an NDC phone pen, the Babco school, NDC phone page, there be and NDC for the the system is there. Opeso University, a call. Opeso Sunya, what failing no one. And this are my uncle top on farm show. There be any amount we are buying so. Yeah, mount a teacher in Quakerism and farm mount. There be one because I've been able to know, and I this Suya Usiana for Suya. Unsuya failure, what failing, and yet your mamma and I, because your mamma, Quakerism, no your mamma until. And your mama is not foolish. So we can talk about say, but ya pon su and yemfa upon and come out. Na teacher ni san ko twere sam so na ko pass. Da bi enye ne sa. E bi ni ho sa. Teacher say bro, privatization is destroying the nation. Politicians but government properties and force the government not to open up jobs to create competition. That is the problem. But I mean, you know, why are we not trained to create jobs for ourselves? I always find it problematic. Take Ghana, buying always promise say, "Memo mojuma yo, memo mojuma." I buy no way them will be a juma because minimum juma I buy no ubeti me. I buy na with the let's assume say military and ando mo kosan la ya sebe. Depends ya fa on hwere mo kwen. Over 4,000 or 5,000 people. It was Elwak Stadium. Be a copy military ako. Abane adena what promise women na so bo mo adwuma. Why are you not resourcing them to create their own jobs? I have problem with how our people manage the resources at Ghana yewono. But maybe with time no they will understand and some of you can be a kakra. Cool me that say minas you're outside Ghana always learning up minia me that say. That's the truth. You cannot credit chiromo. Obi a onye na just obeti no kwena you no anasem. Because me Bible chirin me nipa me no mobile bridge no me ni obi oya aban adwuma me hu bi de say obi ti ba bi a one me nya movie the same time na oya aban adwuma you can tell me few say we nipa 100 a one we onya 2 a mo ya aban adwuma obi aye private people na create adwuma e no mo ye. It is only in Ghana or in Africa and are buying the promises and me obi adwuma ye, and that is the problem that I always have. You may also have problem no ya buying who be brave when him say surprisingly no zip liner alaji Dr. Munufie me catch the Ghana for on na cover zip line ba no si e kasi kapa zip line a private person abie omo ankasa drone services are omo gifri Ghana by wa it's going to shock you tie ura kwa me nta kando.
And as part of the contract there were clauses known as take or pay clauses in the agreement, and the contract was so sourced. Now, for every month, Ghana government was and is supposed to pay $88,000 per center per month. $88,000 per center per month. So if you do the computation, we are paying more than, because we have 6 centers, so we are paying a little over $500,000 every month for the services of the drones. What is more interesting, and I think everybody needs to know, is the fact that in the beginning of this contract, the idea was that we were not going to use government of Ghana money to pay the services of the drones. And I have the Hansards here doing the debate on the floor of the House. And the quotation from the then minister responsible for Health, Manu, I have it here. I think that the question was asked about why the signature of the minister responsible for finance then was missing in the contract. And he had this to say, among other things. Mr. Speaker, I would want to stress again that the Honorable Minister for Finance did not put his signature on because this is not going to be done from the consolidated account. The public purse is not going to come in here, unquote. And the whole discussion has to do with the fact that they were not going to pay from the government of Ghana fund. And some other stakeholders were engaged, and I've had the opportunity to verify from them, including the GMA then. And same argument was advanced. Apart from saying this on the floor of the House, government of Ghana has paid a lot of money to the zip line. Apart from that, their services was to concentrate on the hard-to-reach areas and emergency services. But upon review of the activities, what we have realized is that the hard-to-reach areas constitute only 12% of the activities, 12%, 1-2. And emergency services is 4% of the activities. And it will interest you to know some of the items they fly. Items like condom, blood donor cards, not blood donor cards, mosquito nets, food and nutrition items, adhesive tapes, syringes and needles, education materials, among other things, textbooks, exercise books, uniforms, and a lot more. So these are some of the items they have been flying. And so when we came to office, we think that there must be value for money. And therefore, we are engaging them. So if you hear...
And then listen to something. Alhaji Dr. Munufie and then NPP's administration go to San Francisco. Alhaji Dr. Munufie can also call San Francisco. Although say Dr. Thomas Mensah be canceling or boy on one of the buy. But let's follow what Alhaji Dr. Munufie actually said. He went to San Francisco. Akofa, an American-based young man, to say me hey, Abian is the drone company. Akofa Bagana say, they deliver condoms, mommy. Every month we are a member of $500,000 US. TN7 making you $500,000 US. Now for better condoms, mommy. It doesn't make sense. $500,000 US every single month goes to Zipline. Free. A brand to US. Now, if you know, so you need drones. I don't know one more polytechnics in the technical schools. No, and your man or more drone. You don't train them to manufacture their own drones and then use it to fly. What they call hospital cars. Does it make sense? But that is Ghana that we live in. That is the kind of people who wants to rule us. They have no idea. They are clueless. They lack ideas. They lack vision. Why are we doing this to our country? They are born in Ghana. I consider some group of mumum and they may design educational systems and educational policies for us. It is the educational system in Ghana why we need to change. So I do agree with this man who says that we need to change the educational systems in the country. We need to review it. Mr. NPP for review doesn't mean cancellation. Review doesn't mean abolition or cancellation. We need to overhaul it. There's something wrong with our system. There's something wrong with our educational system that we need to do. If we think that we need drones, we need to train people how to manufacture drones. If we need drone pilots, we need to train people how to fly drones. If we need cars, we need to train ourselves how to make or manufacture cars. So the moment we develop our day, we need to use our common sense. How we NPP ni pacho tie me and seven American because mo na ma dwen no I say gari ne gum odi nsuo gum na enyini odi nsuo gum na bebre. What I say? This is where we talk sense, pacho. This is the debate with Munufie. Over $500,000 US and Alhaji Dr. Munufie cover by sole source contract and they check American young guys free for nothing. It is the educational system that we need to change. Yes, we'll be a more time on university, university about business administration, business management. And again, they produce more lawyers than engineers, and that is wrong for our society. Might be anyway, I say all more lawyers and engineers might be developed that. Because we who lawyer or bicycle cover corada. What will be that? Wait me a catch them. Some lawyer for lawyer business lawyer kusia. Wabonwa okura court them pieba no okobone yerabaso. We a lawyer. Nipa we did develop a mind. I would have done Yankopon. I just a papa she won't quite best at training more mind.
Woman, what be our Tommy be on a son free name? Yes, Chiamba, a boom. What Chiamba boom? Look 11:15. What Chiamba boom? Some women say higher major fee and pie bobia. And I'm with your Daniel Woodie, a ducha. A chancro for Munufie uncle or Pufarasi for Boacher for Bumpany for Obian uncle. Ofe won't say suffer.
Papa she.
Don't call me Papa She. Call me Evangelist Papa She.
Yeah, that's so bad.
Call me Evangelist Papa She.
Yeah, that was so bad.
Call me Evangelist Papa She.
Yeah, that was.
Thank you. Call me Evangelist Papa She.
Me patrol. Yeah, that was so
Call me Evangelist Papa She.